models, and welcome to day 13. Lucky for us, I'm sure. It's a good day. Of Lost in Space 30-day challenge from Inventor Kits, or now Crafting Table. Look, I've got a Crafting Table sticker. So we're continuing with the same build as we had yesterday, but we're going to be delving deeper into the coding. This is the day when we're going to look at security and trying to get ourselves more secure, setting up a keypad entry system to our system. So let old Astrid explain it to you better than I can. So let's switch over to her view and we'll see what she has to say.
Welcome back, dear explorer. I trust you've managed to get some rest after yesterday's, unexpected musical interlude. It appears someone out there in the vast cosmos has a sense of humor. A rickroll, as you Earthlings call it. Quite the antique prank, but I suppose humor is scarce in the vacuum of space. Anyway, it's time to get back to business, don't you think? The endless void isn't going to explore itself. On the docket for today, we have some interesting challenges lined up. To enhance the security of our ship's control panel, we will be utilizing our keypad. We're going to set a personal identification number, or PIN. This will prevent any mischievous extraterrestrial beings from fiddling with our control panel, or a future you pranking the past you. Time gets pretty wibbly-wobbly in space, you know. Additionally, we're going to make use of our passive buzzer to provide auditory feedback. This will help ensure that each key press gets the recognition it deserves and gives you, the user, feedback that an input has been registered. Well then, let's not delay any longer, Explorer. Let's dive in and ensure our systems are secure and interactive. Onward to the adventure! Ah, the beauty of...
Onwards indeed. I have uploaded the code, but we'll go through it anyway, as ever, to figure out exactly what's what with it. So let's have a look. This is it today. So we're starting off day 13. There we go. Right. We've got extra stuff to do. We're doing Booleans. If you remember back from ages ago, the Boolean is basically true or false. So that's what we're going to do. See if you got it right or not, basically. So we've got the same code as ever for the setting up the keypad with the pins. Now I've got the wires the right way around. That would be important. The buzzer is there as well. The buzzer is an output. We're printing on the serial monitor, and then we're waiting. And then we're printing on the serial monitor. I can't remember how to do this. You put it in brackets and then quotes, and then it's going to print on the screen. It's saying print. I just moved the thing. Let's change that back. Right. Press start to enter a new pin, or press hash to access the system. So if you remember, we've got, when it's this way around, star was the bottom left, and the hash, they call it the pound key. I don't know if that is an American thing. But it's the hash key is there because it's a hashtag, isn't it? It's not a pound tag. I don't know. So then we're waiting for a key. Yep, there we go. And basically, when key is pressed, we're given a buzzer just to let us know that we pressed a button. I like that. Just the same beep for every button. Good. Right. So then we've got our if else set up here. The Boolean access allowed, validate pin. If access allowed, so if validate pin is true, then we're going to print welcome authorized user using the system. If it's not the correct pin, then access is denied. Press start. Why is that? Is that a new line, or is that's a glitch? I think. Don't know what that is. I might have to change that. We'll see how it looks and see if I need to change that. So then this is if button character is the star. If you press the button to change pin, Boolean access allowed, validate pin. So if access is allowed, you can enter a new pin. And then we put in a pin length. If I is 0, if I is less than the pin length, add button to I. Button character, tone, button character, print a star because you don't want to print the number that we're printing. Serial print line adds a new line after the last asterisk to the message on the next line. Okay, yeah. Then pin successfully changed. If it's not allowed, then you say you can't change the pin without the old one. That's good. Right, there we go. So this is the Boolean section where we're checking if it's true or false to validate pin. We're going to enter print and continue. Fine. I is 0, I is less than pin length, add 1 to Y. Waiting for a key. If current pin I, button character. Right, this is where it gets a bit confusing. Where's the exclamation mark equals button character? Wrong digit. And print the button character. Return false and exit function. Print star. Right, let me see what he has to say about that, because I don't quite understand this bit. So let me go and let Alex explain it, and we'll see if I can figure out what's what.
Then we're going to say Boolean access allowed equals validate pin. So here's where we get to the new function, return statement. This is essentially doing two things. It's one, setting this value to whatever this is going to be. But that's also essentially just checking to see if we are allowed to have access. And I'm going to guess validate pin is a function that simply allows us to check to see if we have access. And if you go down here to Boolean validate pin, that's exactly what we need to do. We need to enter the pin to continue. The default pin is 0, 0, 0, 0. So this first time around you go through, you'll probably be typing in each time you go through 0, 0, 0, 0. And this is exactly what you're doing in this for loop. For int I equals 0, I is less than pin length, I plus plus. Inside of this function, we're going to go through each time and we're going to wait for a key press, give a little tone input thing saying, hey, a button has been pressed on the buzzer. If the character they press is not equal to what the value of at that place in the current pin is supposed to be, so let's just say the very first one you decide to type in is 1. Well, that's not equal to the character of 0 that it's mentioned up here as a default pin. So what's going to happen is it's going to go down here and it's going to say, hey, that's wrong. This is not equal to it. So we're going to do this statement here. Here's where we get to the new thing. We're going to return false. You'll notice that this isn't void validate pin. It's not int validate pin. It's not nothing like that. Specifically, it is Boolean validate pin. And the reason that that's important is because that means that at some point in this code, we need to return, in order to leave this function properly, otherwise it's not set up correctly, we need to return a Boolean, which means at the end of this thing, we're either going to return true or false. It's going to be false if we inputted the wrong pin, meaning that we do not have the access or know how to access the system, and it will return true if we did input the right pin. So
Right, yes, I understand that now. That makes sense to me. So yes, the exclamation mark equals is not equals to. I remember that now. Now, as soon as he said it, it came back to me. So that makes sense to me from that. I do now remember and understand. So yeah, I did miss the bit at the top where it had, there we go. This is pin length is 4 and it's 0, 0, 0, 0 to begin with. You could set that to be 5 or 16 or 100 and you could put in your own code to begin with. But I understand that. So yeah, there we go. If it's the wrong digit, then it's going to return false and you'll go back up to the where this validate pin was called and it will say no and it will say no. So let me run this code and we'll try it and see what happens. I will leave this screen up with the serial monitor on because we do need to see what it says. It says press star to enter new pin or hash to enter the system. We'll push hash to enter the system. We're putting 0000. Device successfully unlocked. You may begin using the system. Right, enter pin to continue. If you put it wrong, it says access denied. Press start to enter a new pin. We'll enter a new pin. Enter the pin to continue. We'll put in the 4. Right, enter the new pin. We'll put in 1, 2, 3, 4. Pin successfully changed. So that's that. Enter pin to continue. Well, it's not 0, 0, 0, 0. It's now 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So I understand how that works. We'll change it again. We'll put in the old one. And we're going to change it. And we need to put it in the old one. So new pin is going to be, we'll call it BABA. There we go. Pin successfully changed. Enter pin to continue. There we go. So you can set it to any 4 digits you like. What I will do is go back to the code itself and see that I know what I'm doing by changing it to the pin. I'll change the pin length and the initial thing. So we'll set the pin length to 5 and we'll call it 1, 2, 3. We'll call it A. And then we'll add in another one. So comma, space, apostrophe, 4. No, B. Apostrophe. That didn't have a B in it. Let's put B in there. Apostrophe and no comma at the end. So that should be that. So that should be 1, 2, 3, A, B. So let's upload that. We'll see if we got that right. I like changing things around just a little bit to see if I know what I'm doing. So we shall access the system. Enter pin to continue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 keys in, and that's correct. Yes, I understand what it's doing, how it's looking, and indeed the code that it's looking up to do it as well. We could change the settings on there to, if we made that, whatever we made that, whatever's labeled on the keys, basically. So it's not what it calls, it's what it calls from that block, which is the character list, the buttons list. So yeah, I understand that. I like that. That works fine for me. No need for any AI intervention on that lesson at all, I think. So I shall see you tomorrow for the next one, where we're finishing off our exploration of the keypad by adding an LED to it. So we will be using the breadboard tomorrow. So thank you very much for watching. Stay safe, and I shall see you for more very, very soon. Bye-bye for now.